Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Jeff French, and I am the creator of BlockPacks. BlockPacks is a new entrant into the world of NFTs and the hobby of collectibles, card collecting to start. And ultimately, we are striving to create more liquidity by allowing for the tokenization onto the blockchain of the ownership rights of a particular collectible that's held in a vault. And that token can be sold around the world, instantly liquid, trustless, using cryptocurrency. Whoever holds the token can redeem the underlying physical card anywhere in the world. So you can, if you really want to hold the card and have it in your collection, you can choose to have it shipped to you, or you can leave it tokenized on the blockchain and you can sell it to someone in Australia. They can sell it to someone in Japan, and that can continue until someone finally wants to touch the card. So better liquidity, safer, better way to instantly do your transaction using crypto. The token can only go to person A. If the cryptocurrency goes to person B, you don't need to know each other, no vouchers. You have to carry cash and stuff around to a card show. So we think that's really cool. Along the way, we have created a really unique gamification model that allows you to rip digital packs to receive tokens that are a chance to win an underlying card. The packs that you rip cost $5 a piece. We're estimating that we'll have about 600,000 plus in total cards out the door, along with some cash prizes, the way the gamification works. And we're selling $500,000 worth of packs. So we tried to design this with average positive EV for drop one right out the gate, because we're new and we just counted that as some marketing expense. So we wanted to load the packs up. This isn't some repack where you're buying at an average expected value loss. This comes in at an average expected value win that we're estimating, but then to push it completely over the top, we took a 1986 Jordan Fleer PSA 10. It's beautiful. I picked it myself, hand-picked it, looked at over 50 copies before I bought it. And you know, the most recent sale for that card was an $800,000 banger, and the market for those went way up, came down, back up again, and whatever you want to estimate that card is worth, I kept 1% of the card and basically gave the rest of it away. Fractions that we call fractionals, FRAX, and those are going out to the BlockPacks community. If you buy 30 packs, you get a bronze frax of that Jordan. We call it the Genesis. It's the first ever card tokenized, with its ownership tokenized on the blockchain. To take it a step further and to add a story and add a level of provenance that is so unique to that card, we locked it into an Ethereum smart contract. The only way that someone can ever own that card now is to pay 20,000 ETH into the smart contract and unlock the vault token, the token that is the rights to the card, into their wallet. 20,000 ETH today, 50 some million dollars. If that doesn't happen, then in 99 years, it will go to a high auction and go to the high bidder. I'll be dead and gone. But that card is breaking new ground. It's showing some things that are possible in tokenization. It's the first NFT tokenization of a major physical collectible. I haven't found anything remotely like this. Our smart contract is the first to do it, and then to take the step further and lock it up for the terms of that. We think that's pretty cool. And one of the silver fraxes this morning that comes with buying 100 packs, one of those sold this morning for $1,000. The 100 packs were $500. The person that bought that got the silver, the bronze. They got one of each because your tiers level up and you get all the tiers. And they still have all their packs. They have 100 packs to rip, and there's great expected value out of the packs. So, and I know who sold it. It was somebody in our Discord. I have no idea on earth who bought it. It definitely was not us or anybody affiliated with us that bought it. And so it's that's a pretty unique sale, and so it's pretty cool. So these packs are loaded with positive expected value on average between the Jordan and between the cards. And if you hit the Jordan Frax level, 30, 100, 200, your EV is through the roof, especially if we base anything off of that sale. And there have been a few other sales too, so it's not the only one. That was just the one that happened to be the highest. The others, I think, have all valued it. I think the bronze, I think I've seen those sell around the low, with a 150, 120 range. I think maybe one went as high as closer to 200. Another silver went a little over 500. So there've been, all the sales that have happened have been strong because most of the community's just kind of holding tight to these things. But the weird thing is that those are selling at all when blockchainbreaks.io, who's our distributor, still has a few packs left. And that's why I wanted to make this video. I actually listened to a blog this morning. I'm not a blog, a podcast, and I'm not going to name it. But the guys on there, card guys, and I'd heard the podcast before. I'd heard them talk negatively about NFTs in general. And then they kind of looked at our project and they said, this looks like it's like throwing a snowball into hell, a quick way to go bankrupt. They laughed at the 1 in 2,000 odds. And the guy was like, he's sitting there chuckling like knows what he's talking about. And he's like, yeah, 1 in 2,000 chance. And what he fails to grasp is on the other side of that 1 in 2,000 chance out of the RAS packs is a $50,000 card. And you paid $5 for that entry. 50,000 divided by the 2,048 entries that are there, the average expected value of that is $25. So that's pretty good. Even some of the lesser cards in the drop, your EV is still fairly good. And it's also a token that you can sell for whatever someone chooses to pay you for it. But when you look at the total EV, meaning the total of the cards in versus the total of the entries out and the packs sold, it's positive EV. And I don't understand how collectors miss that. I really don't. I don't understand how you have been in the hobby and don't understand that if you buy something that is what's in it is worth more than you're paying, and you believe that. Look, you can comp the card yourself. Go to the site, the set list is there. Comp it. You'll see the numbers. And then that's not even counting the Jordan. And the delta that you'll have if you comp the cards, if you look the way the model works, there are also cash payouts. So you have to add the estimated cash payouts to the cards, and that's how you get just on the packs themselves what is the EV. And we had it at 615. That's what we bonded the promotion for. We had to pay for an insurance policy to bond it, and we had it at 615. So you divide that, or look at that compared to the 500,000 in packs sold, and that's your positive expected value there. But then you throw the Jordan on top of that, and it's absurd. And so if it sounds too good to be true, it's like, why would these people put all this value into these packs? Well, again, the reason we stacked them to start with by about what we were estimating is $100,000 of excess value, it was marketing expense for us is how we were looking at it. But then when we came back and said, let's put this Jordan Frax out, I wrote a really lengthy blog post about why that card is so significant, why it being token 0, the genesis, why that was significant, why that was a bigger moment than just putting some random card in that spot, and why that mattered and why we wanted to give that back to the community. You can go read all of that. But once that was in there, just at pure physical value, the EV on this stuff's through the roof. And I don't understand how anyone in the card space at least can't grasp that. I get that people are having trouble understanding the NFT component of this, the crypto component of this, the gamification model where we have eliminations each round and the number of entries narrows, so therefore your entry is worth more. It's deflationary every step along the way. I get that that's new and a little bit complex. I get it. And we're doing our best to explain it. We have a lot of people that are starting to grasp it and they're helping explain it and it's catching on. But I get that that's complicated. But here's some packs. Here's the value that's in them. Here's the cost. I don't get why anybody wouldn't want to participate in that. So I just want to tell my friends in the card hobby, you heard it from me directly. I told you that these packs are positive EV. And we intend to continue that trend going forward. I missed my point there that I was going to make. I kind of got sidetracked. Why would we put so much expected value into the packs and have such a loss? Well, with NFTs, there's a thing called royalty. And we will collect royalties on the things that stay on the blockchain. And that will create a revenue stream for us that will last into the future. And we're estimating that it'll take us around 3 to 4 years to make back the cost of the excess value we've put in the packs, the excess expected value. And after that, it becomes gravy. So that's why we're giving value away today, putting it in the community, letting the community do what it wants to do as far as collecting, trading, selling, buying, and then hopefully it comes back to us in the form of royalties over the course of several years and well beyond. I want these things to live for a very long time. The blockchain is forever, and I want this stuff to be there when I'm dead and gone. So that's the model. And so you can look at it and say it's complex and I don't get it, but I think if you just boil it down to the most simple denominator, you'll probably get the value. And once you get the value, then it's a matter of how do I then do all these other things? Because here's what I want to do. I wanted to talk, this is to my friends that are in card collecting. I've been in this with you guys for decades and decades and decades. And I hear so many people that say, those NFTs, I'm not getting into that. Who wants to collect a JPEG? And I'm just like, so wait a minute. The person that collects 1/10 of a cent worth of cardboard and ink that has a picture of a grown man on it is basically saying that they don't want to collect something because the value is theoretically 0.1%, which it's not, because there is computing power and stuff behind that would add cost. And it's, especially when you start talking in the blockchain, it's probably actually the true cost to create that NFT is more than it was to create your trading card. But I guess it's just this idea that they can't touch it. But here's something that I want to make sure that you guys understand. NFTs, forget block packs. We're not talking block packs right now. We're just talking NFTs in general. And when I talk NFTs, I'm talking true ER721 NFTs, the kind that you buy on OpenSea, that are decentralized. Not NBA Top Shot, not some of the other Panini Wax, Upper Deck Wax. I'm not even sure who does wax or whatever. Topps has a crypto thing. Those guys have very specific reasons that they need to do some things in more of a controlled, centralized way. And I'm not complaining about that. I'm happy to have all these entrants into the space. But what I'm talking about is this kind of NFT world where it's true decentralized, where CryptoPunks live, where something like the Bored Ape Yacht Club lives. If you've never looked up those things, art blocks, ringers, fidenzas, things that people are making millions of dollars on right now, under your nose. That's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. And the guys that I talk to, they don't want to do it because they feel it's just digital. It's not real. I can't touch it. I think that's the main reason. But here's the thing that I would say to that. There are today, without a doubt, 1986 Fleer Michael Jordans that are in slabs that are counterfeit. I sent a Chipper Jones Desert Shield in for auction, and somebody on Blowout saw it coming up and pointed out that it looked like it was fake. They pulled it, sent it into the grader. It was. And the grader made me whole on the card, and I appreciate them doing that. But that card made it through as a fake. There are fake Manals out there. There are fake Jordans. Some of them are in slabs. Guess what there are no fakes of? There are no fake CryptoPunks. None. Somebody could take the JPEG and they could stick it on a different website. But if you know literally the most rudimentary of crypto verification, you know for an absolute fact that that CryptoPunk that you're looking at and thinking about buying is real. Same thing with the Bored Apes. You can't counterfeit this stuff. You can't fake it. So the other thing you can't do is you can't hide how many of them have been produced. And there's this whole network of NFTs that are really bringing in people that want to collect them, that want to collect different attributes as it relates to them, that are thinking about the future of these collectibles, trying to buy things with the idea in their mind that they're going to be collectibles that will appreciate the way physical collectibles have. And so the people are betting on those right now. And a lot of the people who are the most informed in this world about what is collectible and what is not, specifically those of you in the card hobby, you're turning your nose up at it. And you're turning your nose up at money. Because you guys know what type of things people are going to ultimately gravitate towards. You have a feel for this. It's digital, yes, but it's human behavior. Some of you guys have tens of thousands of hours into collecting cards. You have world-class skills in that area because you love it so much. You've dedicated so much of your time to it. I would say that 95% of the people that do have a profit motive in it. It's a hobby, but it's a hobby they want to profit from. There's some guys, a very small percent, that just don't care about that at all. But so most want to profit from it. And so that's why it's part of the energy that keeps them going. And you've developed those skills over years. Why in the world would you leave those skills on the sidelines when something new is coming up that has the amount of money flowing through it that NFTs do? It blows my mind that people that are in the card community don't have a MetaMask, don't know how to go on OpenSea and buy a simple NFT. Don't hold a little bit of ETH to do that trading. It's right under your nose, guys. The amount of money that got made while we were at the National, while we were there with cards, the amount of money that got made in the NFT space that weekend was absurd. Absurd. 2 CryptoPunks popped off at a combined almost 10 million. And then 46 million jams in behind it. I talked to 2 guys that were at the show that had their CryptoPunks scooped up. They thought they had them priced way above market and they got bought. I mean, those are really nice high end. That would be like collecting LeBron Exquisites or Jordan 86 Fleers or Mantle 52 Mantles. That's the high end stuff. But there's a whole level of mid-grade stuff. Bored Ape Yacht Club is a really cool one. Those popped off. Things that were going for 10 grand were going for 20. Huge market, a lot of liquidity. And then there's lower tier stuff too. If your budget doesn't allow you to play there, there's stuff you can play in. But you've got the skills to recognize ideas, concepts, human behavior. What are people going to do? How are they going to react in 5 years, 10 years? Maybe you're not a technologist. You don't have to be. Do you understand some human behavior? Has your collecting in the hobby taught you some of that? I think it has for a lot of you guys. So why on earth are you letting this happen? Because I'm going to tell you this. Back when the internet came along, how old were you? How did you view your parents and your grandparents and how they reacted to the internet? When you knew it was real and it wasn't just like an online sales flyer and e-commerce was going to be a big thing, what was their behavior? Were they afraid to put their credit card in? Probably. You were probably purchasing well before them. And then later they finally come along and they start using it. How many deals did they miss out on? How many things did they miss out on because they were late to the game? Then what about social media? Probably a lot of you guys maybe have kind of stayed away from Facebook. Maybe you stayed away from Twitter. Maybe you didn't embrace those things. How many cards were sold on Facebook? How many deals happened on Facebook before you figured out what it was or before you got an Instagram? How late were you to that game? Were you on time or were you late? NFTs are bigger than both of those. Crypto in general is going to be huge. I can't tell you everything that's going to win, but the way that the internet won, crypto is going to win. It's got some regulatory hurdles. It's got some things it has to get past as a space, but the technology is too good. The technology is too good. And digital provenance as it relates to NFTs are so much more than collectibles. People don't realize it yet. But our BlockPacks project, one of the things that we're doing is we're using it as a validation of physical ownership. So we're using it for something more than just a collectible. The collectible is ultimately the cards, the physical cards. We're just tokenizing the ownership rights. But one of the easy pathways to NFTs, and one of the most logical things, was art, because artists could then have a genuine one-of-one that they tokenize and prove that it's a one-of-one, prove its provenance on the blockchain. That was one of the first moves there. Then collectibles came, CryptoPunks, and then a lot of these other projects, like I said, the Bored Apes. I'm not going to sit here and plug a bunch of projects because I own a lot of them and I don't want to get accused of pumping. But I think anybody, no, I'm not going to do a whole hell of a lot to pump the crypto market or the Bored Ape market. But there's some other projects I'm in that if I start mentioning them, I may pump them, and I don't want to do that. But there's tons of projects out there at different levels that you can participate in. So those are easy things for NFTs to start with. And again, a lot of NFT projects will fail. A lot of them are going to fail. A lot of them will go to near zero. It's almost like ripping open a case of cards. A lot of the cards in that case are going to go to near zero, but you're going to maybe hit a couple bangers that aren't. That's kind of how the NFT space is. A lot of the stuff's going to go to zero or near to it, but there are going to be some bangers that win, and there are going to be some projects that win. Do you want to be on the sidelines for that? Do you want to be late to the game? Because you're going to be in NFTs. You may not realize it yet, but you're going to. I don't believe you'll be able to attend a concert in 5 years without using an NFT because that's how the tickets are going to be done. That's just one little area. I mean, it's going to revolutionize tons of other industries, and we're all going to use it the same way we all use the internet, the same way we all use social media. You're going to use it. So why wait and be late to the game? Because guess what? It's still super early. It's still super early. There's still wonderful opportunities in this space. And I want to see my friends not get left behind. I'm putting all this stuff on the record. I've heard Gary Vee say that. I want to be on the record so I can be historically accurate. So here I am. I'm on the record. And I'm going to point back to this and say, I told you so to a bunch of you guys. But I hope a bunch of you will listen. I'm not pumping any one particular thing. I'm just saying that the space is something you need to take a really, really hard look at. Get a MetaMask wallet. Get a little bit of ETH. You can hold the money in a US dollar stable coin if you want until you're ready to do something with it. You need the ETH to actually transact, but you can hold it in a US dollar pegged FDIC-backed currency if you want. You don't have to have crypto exposure. If you say, I don't want it, that's too volatile, I don't want to have any money in it, okay, I get that. You swap it in and out when you want to actually make your transactions if that's the way you want to go. But not doing it at all and just ignoring the space, I think is a grave, grave mistake. I think a lot of you guys are screwing this up. And I don't want to see it. And I do think that BlockPax is a great gateway to it because we combine the physical element, we combine gamification. We have a lot of people in our boat right now that are brand new to this space. We are onboarding people that have never had a MetaMask. We're explaining to people in our Discord and on our text list and on our email list how to do these things because they've never done them before. We're trying to help. We're trying to guide you to the space, but I'm already starting to see some people who didn't know what NFTs were 3 weeks ago. They got in because of BlockPax and they just ripped it this weekend when they bought a Bored Ape and the sucker tripled up. And I'm seeing those and it warms my heart. Now, it'll also make me feel bad when they buy something and they get wrecked. Because you can do that in NFTs too, just like in cards. But you guys have a feel. Bring that feel to this space. Get educated. Take time to get educated. Start with our project, Positive EV. You can look at it in a spreadsheet. You know cards. You know the values. You can see how many packs we're selling. It's on the blockchain. It's public. The randomization is public. We have a patent on how we do the randomization to make sure it's all super fair. This is a good gateway project for those of you in the card space. But it's not the only project you should be considering. This is a space that I really, really want to see my fellow card collectors embrace because I think it's meaningful and I think it's going to matter. And I think you're leaving a lot of money on the table if you don't participate. So again, this is my chance to have something that I can point back to and say, don't blame me that you have to now buy your gold Jordan Frax, your Genesis Frax. You have to buy it from some 20-year-old who got it at the price of 200 packs. He got it for $1,000 and you want one really bad now and you got to give him 10 grand for it. I'm not promising anything to win 10 grand. It's not investment advice. I'm just saying if things go really well in that space and these things become collectible and people are enjoying it, which they very much seem to be so far, don't say I didn't tell you so because I did. And that's just what I want to do. That's why I want to cut this video. So love you all. I hope you'll choose to participate in our project. I hope you'll choose to get deep in this space and understand it. It's a world of fun. Be smart. Don't do stupid stuff. Don't spend more money on anything than you can afford to lose. Assume it's going to go to zero and hope that it's not going to. That's kind of the way I approach it.